Enlil, he was known as Satan, the Lord of Eden. And Eden was an outside laboratory. And in this laboratory, when you read these texts, even some of the apocryphal texts, like the book of Adam, which was left out of the Bible, you discover that this was a mating ground. So what happened first was they began with genetically modified people that were almost like clones. And the information on the cloning technique is at the Temple of Karnak in Africa, in Egypt, where I take people. There's more evidence or talk about it at the Temple of Dendera. And there's one more temple that has the birthing center. I think it's the Temple of Isis. And so they were making these people, but they couldn't make them fast enough. And these people couldn't have sex and reproduce on their own.
So
they got very frustrated. So Isis says, I have an idea. I'm gonna take the egg out of one of the beings and put it in my womb and take it to term. So it says in the text that they mixed their genetics with this egg, put it in her womb. So that's now making what we call a zygote in modern technology terms, right? In vitro fertilization, puts it in her womb, takes it to term for 10 months, and then gives birth to the Adamu, which means first man. And there's a cylinder scroll in the British Museum where she's holding up the baby, says, my hands have made it, the first man, Adamu. So that's where we get the first genetically perfected Homo sapien.
So before that, they were
Homo something, but they weren't like us. They couldn't reproduce. Like if you take a tiger and a lion and mate them, it'll have a ligand, but the ligand can't reproduce.
Right.
So that's the situation. That's what we had going on.
This is so fun. This is so much fun. It's so much more fun to listen to you and just believe everything. I know there's people that listen right now like, oh, this is bullshit. Just get away from that and just enjoy today. Just enjoy.
I want people to research what I say. Don't believe what I say, research what I say. And we take people to these cloning centers when we take them to Africa. On tour, our tour we take every single year. So they came up with Adam. This starts the generations of Isis, the generations of Isis, the Genesis, the Genesis.
Ooh, and Genesis is obviously the first book of the Old Testament.
Yes. Adam was then put into this Eden to mate with these other, they had mating times and schedules. You couldn't do it. You couldn't get back what you were talking about. You couldn't mate with somebody unless you were given a scheduled time to mate or you get in trouble. But no baby's coming. So they said, let's go ahead and take some of his DNA, clone that, make a woman, so they made Eve. Then she got pregnant. Okay, this works. They were not the first humans on this planet. They were probably a million in at that point, okay? So people who think that 8 billion people that we have now on Earth came from 2 people have never studied genetics. Because if I start mating with my so forth and so on, by the second generation, third generation, we're gonna have a whole bunch of people with disabilities and one eye and arms broken and small legs and all kinds of stuff. You can't make